There, guys and girls, this is the Pressure Prince with our Total War Attila tournament match, and this is the Aggony 2015 Team Championships Tournament Group Stage, and it is a Group C matchup between Diablo and Stradomski against myself and Maximus. So let's see over here. I'm just gonna stop the game for as long as I can to go over the builds. So first things first, Diablo and Stradomski are both in VM, and they have the Ostrogoths and the Huns. I'm part of Aggony. Maximus is in no clan, but we are playing as the Langobards and the Visigoths. So yeah, for this tournament it's not the best choice actually, and I will tell you why. So initially we picked Langobards and Visigoths because of different rules, but now we are a bit screwed with our composition, and here's why. This is the big reason. I'll just go over the rules quickly. So max 6 of the same unit per team, max 4 of the same cavalry per team, max 14 melee cavalry per team, max 16 cav in total per team, including melee cav and skirmishing cav. Max 4 horse skirmishing units per team, max 4 pikes per team, max 10 foot skirmishers per team, max 4 noble Alani cav, and general is not included in any of the restrictions. Now, you can probably guess what's the rule that hurts us most here, and that is max 4 of the same cav per team, because with Langobards and Visigoths we can take 4 noble Germanic horsemen, right? That's our only good heavy cavalry unit. Like, what else are we gonna take? We can take like noble Gothic lancers, we can take Germanic and Gothic lancers, we can take Typhali or Typhali cavalry, as Maximus likes to call them. So and the regular Germanic horsemen, which are heavily nerfed now, they are medium and they are much worse. Yes, they're cheaper, but they're not really great. So at this point we're just royally screwed, because we can bring 4 decent heavy cav, like they're okay, whereas our opponents, well, they have Ostrogoths and Huns, so our opponents can literally take a lot more heavy cav than us, and heavy cav is very important in this game, to say the least. So we have essentially what is something like, yeah, we don't have that much chances with our composition here if we're up against Royal Lancers or Barbed Lancers, because other teams can bring compositions like 4 Royal Lancers, 4 Barbed Lancers, 4 Nordic Horse Lords, or something crazy like that, like a lot of good heavy cavalry that they can bring onto the table. Whereas the 2 factions that we have picked, not really complementing themselves too well with the current rule set, but we have to make with what we've got, and we're up against Ostrogoths and Huns, while we are at Langobards and Visigoths. So yeah, in particular in this game I'm playing as the Visigoths, Maximus is the Langobards, Diablo is the Huns, and Stradomski is the Ostrogoths. So yeah, we'll see how that one actually plays out as I hit play. So here we go. Actually, no, I still didn't go over the builds. Man, this is taking ages. Okay, here we go. So the Visigoth build, Gothic general with brace. Then I have a Germanic crossbowman on each flank, 2 Germanic bows on the right flank, and let's see, in the center I have 2 Germanic horsemen with 2 Germanic lancers. In the back I have, I believe, 4 noble Germanic horsemen spread out a little bit like this. They're all silver too. And I also have 4, how much Typhali cavalry is this? 4 Typhali cavalry as well. Now for Maximus, who is the Langobards, he has up front 6 Germanic archers, supported by 4, 5 Germanic Spearmen, and last but not least, a lot of Godhands chosen. He has 6 Godhands chosen with his Godhands Warlord, Brace General. Now for our opponents, let's see, they've got the Ostrogoths over here, as you can see, heavy rush builds. We see Germanic Nobles, Bronze 1 General with Brace. Then we have, let's see, 3 Noble Germanic Horsemen on the left. And we also see a Noble Germanic Horseman over here with 2 Germanic Horsemen, Bronze 1. And this one is also Bronze 1, the Noble Germanic Horseman. This one, too, which I did not see earlier. In terms of infantry contingent, let's see. 3 Thracian Oath Sworns in the back. My bad, that's 2 Thracian Oath Sworns and a Thracian Warrior. Up front we see an interesting choice. 3 Germanic Levy. These guys are pretty interesting. Then we have 3, 4, 5 Noble Germanic Swordsmen, right? So, something to also consider. Now the rest of their forces, let's see, because that is basically the build of the Ostrogoths. For the Huns we have Steppe Chieftain Bronze 1 with Brace. We also have, which something I don't agree with, Noble Akatsiri Raiders, which are light. I don't really like those units, to be fair. Yes, they kill infantry really quickly, but they're just light, so not really good for cav engagements, honestly. So you see 3 Noble Akatsiri Raiders, is it? Yes. 3 Noble Akatsiri Raiders, and then we have 4 First Wave Lancers, Bronze 1 on the right flank. And again, honestly, it's still a pretty bad choice because it's light shock cavalry, right? But still, the cavalry is much better than what we have. Even those cavalry units which are suboptimal are still very good against our cavalry units. But yeah, let's see, we have some War Warriors as well and some Steppe Warriors. So we have 2 Steppe Warriors on the right. We see over here 2 War Warriors and 1 Chosen Warrior, and that's basically it. So let's hit play, see what they've got. But here we made a gamble, and we deployed over here on this flank, trying to focus on one of their flanks, but they deployed so wide that they're just going to be able to flank us easily right now. So that did not play out very well for us, I suppose, because now they can just come around here and hit our flank, and we are going to be dead, literally. So at this point, all we can do is skirmish because they have 0 skirmishing units. We need to make the crossbows worth it because they are so expensive, and yeah, we need to somehow if we kill their cavalry and we kite, we win, but the question is, how are we going to do that? Because their cavalry, despite not being the optimal choice for the Huns, it's still way stronger than what we have, like the Noble Akatsiri Raiders and the First Wave Lancers. But some really good shots here by Maximus' Germanic Archers. Look at this First Wave Lancer already dropping to 52. That is extremely good by Maximus, but over here you will see a lack of good coordination on mine and Maximus's part. Or actually not necessarily, not 100%. But here I'm trying to skirmish over here, and at this point I don't really have infantry support. I didn't tell Maximus to do that. But I'm just going to die here. Because if I don't engage, my Germanic Archers are going to be charged by Noble Germanic Horsemen, and I do not want that to happen because I need my Archers. Well, they're bows, so it's not like the biggest deal, but... And here I actually get a 2-on-1 situation. Here, though, this is a huge problem for me. I get rear charged. I'm not able to do properly there at the engagement. First Wave Lancers here getting targeted, so they're gonna take a lot of damage. They actually don't even make it nearly. As you can see, they're light, so they die very quickly, but on the charge they're extremely good. Here I do get some shots off, and I'm probably gonna charge right at the end here. Yes, I do. He doesn't get a charge off with his Noble Germanic Horseman. I do. But here I'm not sure exactly what my Typhali cavalry dies to. I did not see properly, because he didn't throw javelins off. Oh, it was the Noble Germanic Horseman that crushed it, I guess. But yeah, it's not... I mean, on this side it was looking okay-ish until the spears came in. Because I mean, yeah, we have Godhan's Chosen being sent in, but here I actually get a charge off. kill a lot of these guys, but also lose a lot of my noble Germanic horsemen, so that's not really worth it. TIE Folly Cavalry, I'm trying to rear charge, but TIE Folly Cavalry is really TIE Folly Cavalry. It's like no chance for it to actually be any worth it. So here we go. It's did not do well at all, and now we're trying to. I'm actually gonna get a really good charge off with the noble Germanic horsemen over here, and but it's still gonna be really bad for us because we don't have enough infantry support here. As you can see, Godin's Chosen destroyed those noble Germanic swordsmen. But here on this flank, as you can see, we got the oars into our spearmen. Here it's not going as terribly though, and I'm gonna get a decent charge off onto these first wave lancers. But the left flank is holding. It could be doing worse here. But as I pull out my general, you can see that he died at like 25 men left, which is a huge problem because now all my units are going to chain route here, and now the cavalry gets in and is just going to rout me. At this point, I just try and fire as much as I can into this noble Germanic horseman. And yeah, these guys are not firing for some reason. Okay, there we go. Now they're firing. And I'm gonna get a decent charge off with these noble Germanic horsemen. I don't know why he's not pulling through to get to the crossbows, but right now I'm just going to run away. I've still got these units kind of holding him off for a while, but I'm not doing enough damage. The charge didn't do as much as I thought against the Thracian Osons either. I was hoping to kill a lot more. Here I've still got the crossbows on the field, trying to kill his noble Akatsiri raiders. Here I get a charge off with the noble Germanic horseman, and I stop his oars, but we actually broke through on the left against the steppe warriors with the Godens Chosen. Those guys do really well, but our right, as you can see here, we have to kite back a lot, and again I lost my general, and it doesn't look as bad. We actually have a lot more men than they do, but here's the problem. They have a lot of cav on the field, right? So we're actually going to be able to get rid of this cavalry, and then I'm going to send my cavalry over here on the right to support. And we are actually going to be able to mop up this flank as well with this Germanic spearmen coming in to support. And it's going to tank very well. Godin's Warlord should do decently well in the melee too. Here I get like kind of a rear charge off on the warriors, shaving off a few men, as many as I can, and then I'm just going to pull out as soon as he turns around, and I get a good number of kills, but I also lose one of my one guy from my general's unit, but it's okay. I'm just keeping his oars preoccupied because now he can't support in the fight against our Godin's Chosen. And then we have Godin's Chosen coming around here, but this general charge is going to be huge, but they're not going to. We do have a Germanic Lancer over here of Maximus, but it doesn't seem like he notices it. And I'm gonna get a decent charge here with my Gothic general, also activating Brace to do a lot more damage on the charge. But there's flaming arrows being shot here, which are kind of doing a lot of damage to my general. Might rout my general here, but yeah, the Steppe Chieftain rear charged the Germanic Lancer, which is huge. And we've got the Godin's Chosen here, not really doing too much. They need to be going around the rear charging so they can finish that up quickly. But we do have these Germanic archers routing off the field. Not quite sure why they were in the fight. Godin's Chosen though fighting really well here in the melee blob, so as long as theoretically if we could have won this flank quickly enough, reposition our right, we may have been able to do something, because let's think about it. They have a lot of these noble Germanic swordsmen, right? 4 of these, and they are very bad in melee. Okay, they have 5. The only decent infantry units they have left are these depleted Thracian warriors, and then the Thracian Oathsoners over there. So yeah, and here I'm just going to get a charge off, route this unit, and then pull out. Or actually no, because at this point, I guess I thought I couldn't pull out, but this is really bad for me. I thought he was gonna go further, but he didn't, so I made a mistake here. But now I am targeting the scav unit, but it is making it through my own cavalry unit, which is huge. At this point, basically the game is lost because we cannot stop this cavalry no matter how hard we try. And yes, we've done a lot of damage. The crossbows are killing a lot of these Germanic horsemen, but now the crossbows are dead, the archers are dead, and this is how we're gonna lose the game. We needed the skirmishers to survive, and then we perhaps could have won. Now look at these guys, they're not even in shield wall, and so they're just gonna get completely wrecked. Still, my crossbows unable to do enough damage. I've lost this cavalry over here, and just Germanic Lancers against Germanic horsemen, so it's not gonna go well for us, and because I lost my general everything routes much quicker. And here you can see this Noble Germanic Horseman is getting targeted, so it actually lost a decent chunk of it to a lot of those fire arrows. Something to, of course, keep in mind. Fire arrows did well there. But the Steppe Chieftain charges into all these Germanic archers and completely stomps them. It's going to get a lot of kills. All our archers are basically gone off the field. We still have all these infantry units on the field, but... And theoretically we could win against all their infantry, I think, if they didn't have any cav left, right? I mean, I think we could have potentially pulled off a win against that, because we have a decent chunk. We have the Gauden's Warlord still, which is quite good in melee. We have a couple of Gauden's Chosen left as well. So I think we may have been able to win the melee fight. The only thing is, they have 2 decent units, and this Thracian Oathsworn has a lot of men left. It still would have been close, but yeah, the cavalry is just going to screw us over as usual. Yeah, at this point, like, we just don't have enough strong cavalry to compete with other factions. Like I said, our cavalry is just far too weak. Yeah, it looks like over here the Steppe Chieftain got a charge off onto the Gauden's Chosen, pulled away. This very good move, of course. And now we're just gonna get surrounded and killed off by all these horse units. Steppe Chieftain coming around, 19 men left, 18. The Hun General might die because they're a bit using it a bit carelessly, but it doesn't really matter at this point because it's just so late in the game. Okay, another charge by the Noble. I mean, they're so far ahead. Yeah, the Gauden's Chosen, no chance against cavalry on the charge. And yeah, this should be it as we zoom in and watch the fight unfold. These poor guys getting killed over here. Ooh, the Thracian Oathsworn's coming in as well. So much damage was done, and I believe, yeah, for a minute or so, this single Gauden's Chosen, well, 4 right now, but the single Gauden's Chosen will fight a long time, I think, over here. As you can see, 2 still alive. Yeah, they're fighting a really long time against these cavalry and sword units. Even an activated brace. See, this one unit is not dead yet, and it's gotten a few kills. Yeah, that is game. So, essentially, VM takes game number 1 against me and Maximus. So, at this point, we're not in a good position as we have lost 3 games in a row, unfortunately, because it's just a really difficult matchup. And I mean, you can look at our Typhali cavalry. They don't really do too well. They're medium and their stats are not too great either. Germanic Horsemen not doing well, and Noble Germanic Horsemen did better, but still the Germanic Lancers got destroyed. As you can see here, Noble Akatsiri Raiders, we actually kind of neutralized the first wave Lancers, interestingly enough, but still Noble Akatsiri Raiders. And look at these Noble Germanic Horsemen, because they killed all our crossbowmen. We essentially thought, okay, we can't win the infantry fight, we can't win the cavalry fight, so let's go heavy skirmish. And then they just countered that by going full rush. And on top of that, they also went wide, whereas we went on all the way on one flank, which is bad, I think, when skirmishing, because then you don't have as much space. But yeah, that is game 1, so I shall see you in the next couple of games. Well, the next game, not next couple of games, because it's not a best of 3, it's 2 games, because it's group stage. Whatever the case, a win, like a 2-0 win is 3 points, 1-1 is a point, and then an 0-2 is 0 points. This is the second game of the match, and once again, teams are the same. Diablo is the Huns, Stradomski is the Ostrogoths, I'm the Visigoths, and Maximus is the Langobards. And no changes were made, like nobody's actually switching their faction, we're all just going with the same. But let's see if we can actually pull it back and get a draw out of this match, or if we're just gonna go down 0-2, which would be really horrible for our chances of advancing into the next round. it would be really, really bad, because we may not be able to get out of the group stage if we get too owed here. But anyway, the interesting thing is, I believe Stradomski played the Huns in the match they had against RTK, and Diablo was the Ostrogoths, but I'm not exactly sure. So it seems like they may have switched around their factions in comparison to that match that they played against RTK, but again, don't know. But yeah, I'm just going to go over the build. So we have decided to go with this time around. We have altered our composition a lot, by the way, but already I'm gonna go over the builds. So I have 4 Germanic Lancers this time. I have 2 on the center right, 2 center left. I have my General Gothic General with Brace on the left flank, so you can use Brace there. Then I have 2 Noble Germanic Horsemen, Bronze 1, and the Typhali Cavalry Vanilla, supported by 3 Gothic Warband. On the right flank, we have, well, I have 2 Noble Germanic Horsemen with one has a Bronze Chevron, and we also have a Typhali Cavalry over here, supported by 3 Gothic Warband. All right. And then we have, let's see, we have the Redoubtable Chieftain Bronze 1 General with Brace. In the center, though, we have 6 Germanic Archers with 4 Germanic Horsemen, and let's see, we have 2 Godhands Chosen on each flank, I believe. Yes, 2 on each flank, and then the center seems to be a strange mix, actually. So we have 2 Scaled Clubmen with the Godhands Chosen all the way in the center, and then 2 more Scaled Clubmen. That is basically it. Now for our opponents, let's see the Ostrogoth build. Germanic Noble Bronze 1 with Brace. 2 Thracian Oath Sworns and 1 Thracian Warrior, it seems. Then we also have 3 Noble Germanic Horsemen over here. 1 is Bronze 1. We see a bunch of Noble Germanic Swordsmen again, so 3, 4, 5 of those, with 3 Germanic Levy up front, so that's nothing too new. We also have 2 Germanic Horsemen, Bronze 1 here, and a Noble Germanic Horseman, Bronze 1. Now for the Huns, what do we see? We see the Steppe Chieftain, Bronze 2 with Brace. We have, let's see, 2 chosen Ur Warriors this time around. Again, I don't really like that choice. We have some Noble Akatsiri again, 1, 2, 3 Noble Akatsiri Raiders, Bronze 2, and we see some Noble Steppe Cataphracts as well. Looks like 1 of those. So how many Noble Akatsiri? 1, 2, 3 indeed. And 3 First Wave Lancers, once again. And these 4 Steppe Warriors, which I really don't understand the choice to bring Steppe Warriors, but oh well. Let's see how this one plays out. Again, we have more men than our opponents, but this time around we should have a much better chance. We are playing wide, and we still have the skirmish advantage, because again they brought 0 skirmishers, but we can win this by using our archers properly to target their Noble Akatsiri Raiders and their First Wave Lancers, since those units are light and they can get completely stomped by our units, essentially, by our archers. They die to missiles very, very quickly, and to precursors as well. But I am moving up on each flank, so again we have more opportunity to kite. It's always a good choice. You want to move up to the center of the map. There's no reason not to do that. It just gives you more tactical flexibility. But again, we're gonna have the issue of killing their cavalry, and while they have not chosen the most optimal cavalry, and I keep saying it again and again, they still have a better cavalry choice than we do. So yeah, it is going to be difficult. Looks like Maximus is gonna start targeting those horsemen, but yeah. And I'm still staying still over here. This time I have no skirmishers to use, so I can focus my micro on the infantry and the cavalry, which is much easier to do, I think. So definitely good for us. So it looks like Maximus got some shots off into the cavalry, but I don't think he actually shot the first wave Lancers, which is a bit of a problem because those would die really quickly. Some flaming shot onto the Noble Germanic Swordsman, so a bit of a waste here, but damage is done, so who knows. And I think over here, if we can start an engagement, like I'm gonna try and pull him back and then set up a defensive position over here. Because if we can do that, then we will fight with support much closer to our lines. We have support here, and then their support is gonna have to travel a much longer line. So here we start an engagement, the Germanic Horsemen against Noble Steppe Cataphracts. I do not know if this is a good idea, because Noble Steppe Cataphracts are going to destroy that unit, so I think that's not a good trade. Even though it does stop the Noble Steppe Cataphract, the Germanic Horseman dies almost instantly, so I don't think that is a good choice. Here we're going to have a similar engagement, but Noble Germanic Horsemen are going to do fairly well against Noble Akatsiri Raiders. Over here, it looks like they wanted to engage, but I actually got to throw off a Javelin unit, and here I get a decent charge on the side of his Noble Germanic Horsemen, and we're going to get the Godhan's Chosen to support here. I managed to pull out this Typhali, and now I'm going to get another charge in. But this is actually a good move by them to get into the Godhan's Chosen as I pull out. So they do a lot of damage to Godhan's Chosen over there, but we have Redoubtable Chieftain here, we have Gothic Warband in much closer support. The engagement has started over here as well, but I believe I got my Noble Germanic Horsemen here into the Steppe Warriors. I suppose I didn't. Gothic Warband here, looks like our left flank is crumbling a bit, which is not good, but as you can see, the engagement on our right flank is going well. We just crushed that Thracian Warrior. We're engaging this Noble Germanic Horseman, which unfortunately got into the Gothic Warband, so it should do significant damage to it, which is not good for us. We killed that Noble Germanic Horseman though, but they're gonna have cavalry, which they're not engaging here. I do not know why they're not engaging that, but they're gonna recharge that Godhan's Chosen, so okay, that makes a bit of sense. Because this Godhan's Chosen has definitely gone a bit too far, but it's Berserk, so it could do a lot of damage. This Godhan's Chosen not gonna do too well though. It feels like the Godhan's Chosen are a bit too far out of position, and these guys are not in shield wall, but on the left flank we might actually be doing fine because our Gothic Warband are here supporting against their cavalry now. We got Germanic Archers targeting all these Noble Germanic Horsemen, so a lot of damage is being done. Over here, my Typhali cavalry again not doing too well, unfortunately. So the Gothic Warband here are, I'm not sending them in, so I guess this is a mistake by me. I should definitely be sending them in. Did I have an attack order? I don't know. So here I get a charge with the Thracian Old Storms, but they're hard to deal with. I'm going to pull back my Gothic Warband because I don't want to start an engagement here. And I don't want to get charged by his Noble Germanic Horsemen, or Germanic Horsemen for that matter. But on the left flank, it's actually not going too badly at all, even though it started off badly. Here I have a Germanic Lancer in support in case it's necessary. I was thinking about charging here, but they have cavalry here, so I think I'm just going to turn them around and charge the Noble Akatsiri Raiders. And as you can see, I've done a significant amount of damage to the Noble Akatsiri, but on this flank, I'm going to get a decent charge off with my Noble Germanic Horsemen into this unit. As you can see, it's walking, so it's not really braced. The general of the Langobards is in some trouble though against the Thracian Old Storms. I'm going to charge onto this Germanic Levy though. And this Noble Germanic Horseman is going to die without being... I mean, it killed 200 men, but it's mostly archers, so it's not really efficient. Chosen who are fighting at 1 man left. Pretty funny. Godhan's Chosen at 13. Here I get a charge off, and I managed to stop this cavalry unit for a bit with my Lancer. I still couldn't kill that one Chosen Ur. And here I actually charge the rest of my remaining cavalry and got a Gothic Warband here, which I'm trying to charge into the Noble Germanic Swordsman. Here I'm following his Germanic Levy, but I'm like, at some point I'm like, okay, we have these units over here, which we don't want to engage, because if we do go too far, we might lose those units. And we are winning on the left flank, as you can see, fairly nicely. And right now my general has gotten 78 kills. He's just going to go for a rear charge and just destroy those Steppe Warriors. My Germanic Lancer here is going to get another charge onto the Noble Akatsiri Raiders, so that's going to be good for us. Here, as you can see, I'm just running away with the Gothic Warband. I don't want to let his Germanic Horsemen charge my Gothic Warband, so we are just essentially pulling away right now. And I believe we just killed the General of the Huns. It was engaged over here somewhere, or yeah, here it was, so that's really good for us. The fact that the general of the Huns is dead, it gives us a big advantage, I would like to say. But yeah, we'll see if the advantage is gonna be big enough for us in order to win this game. Because right now it's just not looking great at all for them. I mean, we have archers left, we have a bunch of cavalry units left, we have our generals left. They lost one of their generals. Okay, this God's Chosen is definitely out of position, but it killed 180 men, and now it's activating both Frenzy and Rapid Advance. So perhaps it's gonna get some kills onto the Germanic Horsemen. Doesn't seem so, but oh well. Did it get one kill? Maybe it did. It actually is getting a couple of kills onto the cavalry, so it did more than I expected it to do, I guess, despite getting swarmed like this. But here's the thing, so I noticed, okay, they're swarming this single unit with all these cavalry units and all these sword units. What does this mean? That I can get some charges off onto their units, and the charge into even braced Germanic Levy, if there's just like 40 of them, they're just gonna die on the charge. They definitely did there, so that's me killing that unit. Now I'm just going to push forward and see if I can get into these Thracian warriors. It's a bit of a ballsy move, but ooh, unfortunately the God's Chosen didn't survive there, but it looks like my cavalry should make it into the Thracian Oathsworn here. And I'm definitely going to get a rear charge even onto the Thracian Oathsworn, so that's huge. I've got more cav coming around here, more cav as well around here. So I did get a significant charge onto these Thracian Oathsworns, and my unit is now up to 159 kills on Germanic Lancers. That is huge. Here though, I'm gonna get a charge into the Noble Germanic Horsemen. He is too, sadly for me, but ooh, another charge into these Noble Germanic Swordsmen. They were not braced, I believe. But now I'm just going to go for a charge onto these units, but I was not able to. But let's see, this is a bit of a waste, I suppose. I didn't really do too much with this unit. But this unit though is gonna be able to get a rear charge here, and now they're all blubbed up, so my Gothic Warband might do well in this fight. And I mean, even if I lose these units, I might still trade well enough to rout them. Though they do get a rear charge onto my Gothic Warband here, that's not good, and flaming shot might mean that my units would rout, but here they're just so blobbed up that all these archers could do a lot of damage anyway. As long as the Germanic Horseman dies, by the way, it's a very good trade for us. The Gothic Warband here are getting some kills. And as you can see, Germanic Levy gonna be off the field. All these units are fighting, but what can they actually do? And here I am actually doing a decent amount of micro here with the Gothic General, charging in and then charging out again and again. I got a rear charge onto the Noble Germanic Swordsman here, then I'm just going to pull out again. And as I do that, it's gonna be so good for us. This Germanic Horseman trying to go for my general, but Maximus is targeting it with his Germanic archers, so at this point it's just looking very, very good for us, I think. The Germanic Horseman has been routed and it's now off the field, but it might come back really quickly. Now I get another charge off with my Gothic General. Now I'm going to keep him in because it's just 30 Noble Germanic Swordsmen. If I pull out, I'm going to lose more men, and we have God's Chosen support anyway, so might as well just finish that unit up anyway. And yeah, that was a fairly effective trade here. We killed 2 Noble Germanic Swordsmen at a cost of almost nothing for my Gothic General, I think. So that's a good trade for us indeed. But question is, what exactly are we going to do? I mean, what are they going to do against our cavalry here? Because they had that Germanic Horseman before, but now it's routed off the field. And now here come the cavalry charges, the final charges into their units. And let's see. So I turned around here, trying to go for a better charge. So I pull out the general, and then I think, yeah, I'm just moving him around. Now I'm going to turn around and get the charge off, but the charge wasn't the best here. Kind of messed up the charge, but does it really matter at this point? Because did it actually mess the charge? Because it looks like I'm getting a lot of kills on the charge still. Well, not a lot, but yeah, I guess the charge was kind of messed. But here, more charges into these units, crushing them completely. My Gothic General still alive with almost 300 kills. It is insane. Germanic Swordsman, and then more Germanic Nobles. I guess I'm gonna get a rear charge off. Final rear charge into these Germanic Nobles to rout them off the field with my General. It's now gotten over 300 kills, and it's gonna get more kills. Ooh, that charge brought them to 320 something. So yeah, looks like this is our first win of the tournament. It took a long time, but we finally got it. Gothic General is 323 kills. Wow. Gothic Warband support did alright. Even the Germanic Lancers did some damage, and Noble Germanic Horsemen. Again, Typhali Cavalry being Typhali Cavalry. You can see 5 kills, 19 kills respectively. Very, very crappy units. Now for Maximus, let's see. Gauden's Chosen is expected lots of damage because they are insane melee units. Scaled Clubmen, very good at holding the center. Germanic Archers, nice units too. Germanic Horsemen, some of them did surprisingly well considering how bad they actually are in the current meta, in the current patch. Now Diablo's units, we actually seemed to have neutralized the Chosen Wars pretty well. They didn't get a lot of kills. Hun Cavalry still did some damage to us though, but not as much as our cavalry did, apparently. As for the Ostrogoth Cavalry, or units, let's see. Well, the Thracian Old Swords obviously did a lot of damage. Thracian Warriors, not as much though, as they got charged. But Noble Germanic Swordsmen did kind of damage though. And of course, Noble Germanic Horsemen did well, because this is the best cavalry unit that the Ostrogoths can bring. And let's see. Is there anything else to say? Not particular, other than we now finally have 1 point in the group, but we're gonna need to win. We're gonna need to go 2-0 and 2-0 in order to advance to the next round, I think. But yeah, that is game. So also do check out Maximus's channel. I'm gonna leave a link to his channel in the description. Definitely should check him out, of course. Lots of good content, but like myself, I think he's not too interested in playing the game in its current state. We mostly play tournaments. Well, I mostly play tournaments myself, and I don't even know if he really plays 1v1 tournaments anymore. But yeah, that is game and match. So hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to see more, don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Share the video, and I shall see you next time.